This week on Abrams and Bettis, it's jobs worth weathering. We take you to some of the worst weather jobs in the world. That includes being an observer on top of Mount Washington, New Hampshire, where they have some of the worst winds in the world. In fact, the highest wind ever recorded. And when you've got winds like that, I would think in the middle of the night, Stephanie, it gets a little creepy up there.
Oh, absolutely. That's what the observers told us, that you could actually feel the building shaking. You can hear things creaking around the building. Yes, not so pleasant when those winds are well over 100 miles per hour. Now, unfortunately, on that mountain, it has taken some lives. There's actually a cross on top of the mountain where 2 people froze to death. Over 130 people have lost their lives, and some of the observers think their spirits remain.
There's certainly some scary times up here. When you have to go outside on the towers in the middle of the night, you can definitely be concerned about a number of things. Definitely can be a pretty scary place up here in the middle of the night, in the middle of winter. This mountain has a pretty notorious reputation, and you see some pretty unusual things up here. Just doorknobs moving, doors moving, elevators riding up and down. It can be a pretty interesting experience doing the night shift up here. But certainly with all the untimely deaths of mountaineers going back through time, it seems like they don't want to leave either.
It's really a necessity to be prepared when you go hiking, whether you're talking about the cold or the heat. And speaking of hikers, we actually met some guys that hiked up Mount Washington. We took the Snowcat up. They said it took them about 3 hours on the Heel Toe Express, which means they walked up the mountain. And coming up, when I get back, I had a behind-the-scenes video camera, and I spoke to some of those hikers, and also you'll be able to see what went on behind the scenes when we went up on Mount Washington. You'll have to head to our website, weather.com/AB, in the coming days. We'll get that posted. But right now on the website, I do have several pictures from when we were up there. So head over there and check it out. Mike, it was a blast.
Hey, Steph, I want to ask you real quick. These guys spend the night up there. What's it like? I mean, it's got to be hard to sleep when there's winds of 100 miles an hour outside.
Oh, absolutely. They do get used to it, though, as you can imagine, day after day, hearing those winds. It is something you get used to. And they actually have a couple rooms, and they have bunk beds. And when there's an observer sleeping, there's a little sign hanging up that says, "Shh, observer is sleeping." I think it might be a little bit harder with people eating in the living room since it's right there off of where their bedrooms are. I think that bothers them more, perhaps, than the winds howling.
They're definitely acclimated to it. Steph, thanks. We'll check back in with you. Interesting stuff from on top of Mount Washington tonight.
Go beyond the forecast with Abrams and Bettis, weeknights at 8 Eastern.